We're going to go to our next topic. It's going to be biggest fears that we have.
Oh, in life. And this can be anything.
So how dark can...
You can go dark if you want. I mean, this can be
like-
very serious. Or it can be just like silly fears.
Benny boy.
You want to start?
All right, sure. So, I mean, like, going dark, I'm thinking, like, my mom passing, my sister passing, you know, like, to me, that's the ultimate, right? Like, nothing is more...
Is that a fear?
It's not really something
I was going to say,
about.
Ben, that's scary because that's a fear that's going to happen.
Yeah. We're talking about fears. Like, what is your biggest fear?
No, I mean, it is a fear.
It is something
but
that
I'm saying
happened.
it sucks because it's going to happen.
Yeah,
Right, but that's a fear.
Yes.
I certainly
Yes,
realize
yes.
that.
So you're saying, like, the fear of, like, death
like,
from other people.
When is it going to happen?
Right,
You
okay.
know, like, is it going to happen, 1 year from now, 6 months from now? I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Genuine fear.
That was very dark, very quick.
Yeah.
But
We
hey,
should've started on,
I mean,
like,
I'm just being honest.
you got to be honest.
I'm just going to start with the generic one, man. Like, I got a fear of spiders, man. And I'm going to tell you right now why it started. Because when I was a kid, my mom put on a movie called Arachnophobia.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
I'll tell you right now, I am so afraid of spiders now that, like, if I scream, I'm like, babe, there's a spider in here. Like, please kill it. Like, I scream.
Ricky has the opposite of that. Ricky will just, you tell Ricky you see a spider and he's like, cool, and he'll just pick it up and play with it.
You like
seen-
spiders?
I don't like them. I just,
But he has no problem with
Like if
them.
it's daddy long, I'm gonna pick them up. If I see like a black widow or something in my house, my kids freak out. All I do is I look at it. I was like, oh, cool, wham, and I'm like,
Yeah, I've
Problem
called
solved.
Ricky over, too, to kill spiders, and he's done it, dude.
I have
don't
friends.
care.
I have friends whose kids have like black widows.
My
And
brother.
they will
No
hold
way.
them. Your brother does it too?
my brother has like 3 pet black widows. I'm like, oh, this is interesting, cool.
I don't like spiders either.
Really?
I'm afraid of them.
I do not care.
Stay clear.
I will do anything to make sure that they're all dead.
They don't bother me.
care.
They don't bother me.
Oh, they do. Like, they just, all of a sudden, they're in every single corner every once in a while. You just see them, like, up in the corner. I will find a way to kill them all.
I think they say that the average human swallows a few spiders in their lifetime,
3
like
a
while
year.
you're sleeping.
Yeah, but I've heard that's more of, like, a myth than anything.
Look
No,
it up.
I was laying on the couch the other day, and sure enough, spider just crawling along my arm. I was like, man, if I was sleeping, that thing would have gone right up,
That's what I mean.
right into my mouth.
It is a weird feeling, though. Like, you're just sitting there, and all of a sudden you just feel this, like, little tink, and your body just has this reaction.
Yep.
And then you look.
It knows because it knows like that could be death.
Yep.
Oh, dude, it is
get
death.
that thing off
Dude,
of me.
anything that's crawling on me is death to me. It could be an ant, and I'm like freaking out, dude.
You're a little wussy boy.
I don't.
Mosquitoes in my house.
I do not care.
Oh
man.
my gosh.
That's okay, that's another. I
I
have
gotta
that
wear
on here.
pants at Ricky's house. Holy
Curtis,
crap.
whenever we do Whatnots every Thursday, it's outside. Well, they're outside. We're inside. That sounds horrible. We're running the show. We're running the show inside. They're outside packing.
Can I come in?
You stay outside, Curtis. Shut up.
It's cold out here.
Please, I need some porridge.
You stay outside. No, Curtis every week like immediately starts freaking out about, and it could be like one mosquito's name. He's like, dude, oh, and he's like wearing pants with high socks, duct tape around it. I'm like, relax.
No,
bro.
but you see the next day, like how bad I get bit, man. It is unreal how many times I
True.
get bit.
There are a lot of mosquitoes.
It is
there. You get
literally
them on your
another
legs, you
fear
get
of
them on your
mine. I
arms.
put a fear
I don't know
of
what Ricky's got in the
mosquitoes.
backyard, but there's a lot of freaking
Bullfrogs.
mosquitoes there.
Dude,
Yeah, there's apparently bullfrogs. Every time Ben's around, you hear him croaking.
I don't
you
know
know,
what you're talking
they
about.
never used to be that bad, but when I lived in South Dakota and played baseball, like they were migrating on
Lived
me.
in South
dude.
Dakota and played baseball.
Yeah.
First of all, you did? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I played for a year there, and during like the warmer months, they were in flocks, man, like thousands of them. I almost considered playing with a mosquito net on my hat. That's how bad they were on me.
He's that kid.
But like when I got bit, sorry, Ricky, I've been hitting this all day. But when I got bit, they would turn into like horse like knots on my arm.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
so
you're having
now,
a reaction to them. My wife has that too.
Yeah, so
they're
now-
literally huge golf balls.
yeah,
Oh.
and they itch like no other. And that's why I have that fear. Like I just don't want to get bit.
Oh, okay.
And now that I get bit by these, like I don't know if they're like the
Ankle
Asian ankle biter, whatever you call it.
Asian ankle biter? That's
Dude, it's like a tiger mosquito, whatever you
what
want
I
to
call
call it.
Tony. Just kidding.
They eat me up, man. I literally leave Ricky's house on each leg like 5 bites easily. And it sucks.
They don't bite
And you
me.
do, yeah. he feels them like even the next Thursday he'll be like, dude, look at my ankle, and it's like full of holes.
You
I'm
just
like,
see
oh, God.
welts like all the way through, and it's like the ones that are rubbing that like destroy.
I feel bad for the audience. I just looked. Ricky and I are wearing the exact same shorts, and they're just hiked. They're the exact same shorts. They're just hiked.
I love when people call it out like, dude, there's getting pretty close
Are
this
you
time
wearing
around.
I keep
pants?
pulling them
All
down.
right, so anybody else have
Dental
any general
floss over
fears?
there.
Yeah, I got one. One of my, obviously it's not a fear because I can avoid it happening, but I wouldn't for anything go deep sea diving for anything. It's just,
Sharks?
Nope, nothing to do with sharks. Just I hate the thought of being down there and something going wrong. And I have to and you just the fear of trying to swim up. I've always said it that, and I mean, skydiving is not as bad, but they're just two things that I just don't want to do for anything. And I do stupid stuff all the time. You know, as a kid, I used to backflip off roofs with a skateboard and stuff, and that didn't bother me. But for some reason, deep sea diving, it'd be my torture. If you had to torture me and you kidnapped me in war, make me deep sea dive.
Now, see, I have my scuba dive license.
Yeah.
So I
Whoa.
used to scuba dive all the time when I was younger.
Deep sea?
Deep sea, yeah.
Wow.
like 80 feet down, like doing
Dang.
wrecks and stuff. It's absolutely amazing. It's like such a beautiful, like,
I'm sure
other
that's
world.
beautiful.
But I don't do it anymore because of one of my biggest fears, which is sharks.
Oh.
I am so deathly afraid of sharks. I've watched way too many Shark
Yep.
Week movies, Jaws movies,
Bethany
Shark
Hamilton,
Week
the girl
episodes.
lost her arm.
Just so much shark stuff over the years. Like if I go out in the water now, I cannot stop
So you don't
thinking
surf
about
at all, do you?
I tried and I could not get over it.
You think about
Literally
it.
would be out there and going, this is it. It's coming. Right now. It's happening.
This is the end. This is the end.
I
and
remember,
it's like paralyzing and I go back to shore.
yeah, I remember watching something with Rob Dyrdek, and he goes and like dives with the sharks, but he would call poop. He would call that shark sugar. He's like, I'm about to leave out some shark sugar around here. That's what I always remember back in the head of my like.
Wow. Back in the head of mine.
But, dude, I am stroking out. It's almost like the end of this.
Yeah, it's been a long road. What about you, Ben? You got any? Oh wait, Ben and wait, you haven't gone.
One of mine would be
Besides
sharks, like fear of like my business closing down. Like that has always been a fear of mine since I opened my shops. Is like, man, what if that was to go down? Because of course it's you could have the fear of losing your job or something like that, which I probably many people do have. But like a business going down is like I put so much of my life into it. What would I do next, kind of thing? And I know what it takes to start up another business, so I've always had this fear of like trying to have the next thing ready just in case, you know.
I know your next step, dude. It's selling your body. We're good. I'll be your
You
first
got a customer with Curtis, bro.
First customer, line me up.
Male gigolo.
Just the subscription with Curtis.
That is a genuine fear, though.
Yeah, no, it's always, and many people I'm sure that own their own businesses feel that way, but that has been a legitimate, yeah.
But I think that's also probably what drives you to be successful, right?
Yeah, and always, it is probably one of the main driving forces is like, man, I do not ever want to see this to fail. Now, along with that comes like the fear of like, man, someday maybe people won't care about retro gaming. Ooh, then what do I do? You know, that's kind of the business. I've tried to diversify that with other collectibles, and the collectibles market has seemed to be strong.
Yeah.
But there is always this fear of like, man, maybe someday nobody cares about retro games. Nobody cares about comics and all this stuff. But so, yeah, that's a genuine.
That is a real fear.
Yeah.
How about you, Ricky?
Oh, I got too many fears.
I love how Ricky's always like, I got
I got too many, but he doesn't say it.
Podcast.
I could go. I could go.
being on podcast.
I can go dark or I can go weird.
Do whatever.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess one of my fear is to lose one of my kids.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I've almost lost I feel like I almost lost one like the other time. Like, you know, Maverick got hit by like my kid got so. Just to put it in a story.
Give him the story.
Earlier this year, I was just walking with my mom and my pops. We were walking, dude, in a park. We were just walking, and Maverick, my little one, he's just like 3 feet away from
And
me.
he's tiny.
He's tiny. He's a little guy. He's 4. So we're walking, and out of nowhere, dude, I didn't even hear it coming. It was like the silent thing. Like even
It was an e-bike.
It was an
Yeah.
e-bike.
Oh,
This e-bike just rammed my kid at full speed. Just saw him fly on the ground and getting dragged by the e-bike. At the same time, I don't think I've ever been that scared or pissed off at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So, but like all the thing I had to go through, like so what the dude, I thought he was dead. I ran to him. He wasn't moving. He was like he was just like this.
Kind of knocked out.
He was. I
And my wife
knocked out.
was with your wife.
Yeah,
when it happened,
when
she
this all
got the
happened.
call, and it was a girls' night, and all of a sudden she's like, "Maverick just got hit by a bike," and I'm like,
But-
"Oh, like a bicycle?" She's like, "No, by an e-bike at full speed." I was like, "Oh crap!"
But dude, it scared the heck out of me because he wasn't moving for like a good 30 seconds, and then so the thing that scared me first was that like he died. Like I was like, that's it, my kid just got knocked. The second thing, after I saw him open his eyes, he couldn't move for a good 30 seconds. So I thought he was paralyzed. I was like, dear God, I'm like, what the heck's going on right now? Like I don't know.
It's a range of emotions because then you have that rush of fearing that you lost your son, and then now that he's awake, you are grateful he's awake, but now you're trying to figure out what is the after effect of all that, right?
Yeah, and there's still
That's
like
tough.
there's still things like he had brain bleeding after we did all this stuff. Like he's fine now. He's
Yeah,
this
yeah.
kid's like resilient.
Goofy
This kid-
Maverick.
Yeah.
Goofy Maverick. But
Yeah.
at the time, scared the heck out of me. I don't think I've like.
I think we were all super worried for you
Oh, yeah.
when that happened. I was like,
Dude.
oh,
And it was a little
Lord.
girl that was on the e-bike.
it was like
right?
a little 12-year-old girl.
So it's not. It wasn't even like a guy you could like
wasn't-
beat up.
That's the thing, dude, with e-bikes, and they actually have buckled down to regulations. We talked with nurses.
Yeah.
I know I did. You did. They said that's like one of the number one reasons people are in the hospitals now is for e-bikes because you're giving 12-year-olds motorcycles.
You're giving free
with-
range to
They
kids.
could do like 30 miles
Yeah.
an hour.
And the difference is when you see people riding motorcycles, what are they doing? They're riding their motorcycle. Half these kids I see have their feet up and they're on their phone. And I'm like, dude, and they are just plowing.
And they go on the opposite side of traffic. You don't see them coming. These things get up to
They don't have to take any like license test to fit.
Dude, I mean, we might sound like old heads, but like this is like real, man. You're basically giving a motorized vehicle to a kid too early.
Yeah.
That's what
I think
would
laws
I
are
agree.
starting to come
They
out.
are, and I'm
They are
glad they're
against
coming
this
out.
stuff. Yeah.
I'm glad.
Where we live, it's very prominent. Like kids everywhere.
Everyone
Just
has one.
My brother left his. He had two at our house, and my son started riding them, and it was like a week before I took it away. And I'm like, you can be a normal kid and ride a regular bike. And now, to be honest, he rides his bike everywhere, and I love it. I see him on a regular bike, pushing, paying attention, doing his thing, and I'm like, that's awesome. But like again, I don't want to sound like an old guy. But again, I remember talking to a lady at my daughter's soccer, and I was like, oh my gosh, what happened to you? And she got hit by an e-bike. And she was just walking full speed, black eye, everything. She said
it's
that
real, man.
the nurse told her that everybody's just coming in. A kid by her house died on an e-bike.
Yeah.
Just flying into the middle of a traffic thing, just got hit. Boom. Because, I mean, sadly, again, it's not, obviously it's precautions and proper, but there is no, again, without sounding like an old guy, you're basically getting a motorcycle and just go.
Right.
Good luck, They're not wearing their helmets and this,
But losing a child would be one of the worst things ever. I've always thought about like what it would be like if I lost one of my, like my son. It would be horrible.
To tear you apart.
yeah.
Tear your life apart.
Yeah.
And whenever you watch like documentaries or shows of parents that have lost kids,
Yep.
it's like they say it never goes away.
You don't recover is what they
No,
say. Yeah.
every single day, I think you'd be thinking about that. So
You would.
It'd be absolutely horrible.
We know a dude that went to our school. He like died, and like the next year, like I don't know how his dad died. Like it was like of sadness. I don't even know what it was.
I
Like
think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
it's something happened in his body. Like it just shut down. Like he didn't really want to live anymore. I was like, dear God.
Oh, because
There-
his kid
yeah,
died.
it was
So
that
he
was
died?
the only child they had, and I was just like, dude.
And that's normally like kind of like what is normal when a life partner like who's older and like isn't in the best health. Once they lose that person, they pretty much follow.
You start to
That's
deteriorate.
true.
You follow a couple years later, but
Yeah, I think losing a kid would probably be like the worst thing that could happen to you in the world, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not like, again, losing a parent is still horrible, but it's like, they're older, they live like a kid. It's like, no, they're innocent, It's like, there's like, but why? They're innocent.
Yeah, you should never see your kids pass.
yeah.
Yes.
Does,
yes.
does anybody have any other fears?
I got a weird. Can I do a weird one?
I just wanted to go.
Ricky wants to break out of
There
it.
we go. There we
This
go.
is a weird one. So in my 20s, I was scared of going to this one
To the club?
This town, no. This town that I grew up on. I used to go all the summers to this town in Mexico called Mexicali. That's where dude, legit, I grew up there all the time. I had a little crew over there. There was like 6 of us, 5 or 6 of us. I can't remember now. But after high school, odd things started happening to my little crew. I never wanted to go back to this place because of it. So oddly enough, there was 5 of us. Only 2 of us are still alive because it seems like they all died like a weird death.
Wait,
So I'm
real
like,
life?
He's
yeah,
a
in
lot
real
of
life.
death here.
So
what was the place you were going to?
I
Mexicali?
thought we were going weird, Ricky. This is dark,
Yeah,
bro.
this is more
He's like,
dark.
don't worry,
Sorry,
this
sorry,
one's just a
sorry.
little weird. Everybody
sorry.
died for real.
Sounds like the plot of a horror
So
movie.
they all died in the city. Like it's like a weird, like almost like after watching Final Destination, I didn't want to go back to this place because I'm like, dude, it's gonna happen to me. I'm next. So I
Yeah.
think the only ones left are me and my cousin. That's it from our whole like crew. 2 of the guys died drinking and driving, like randomly flew off a canal and hit a power pole and died when I was like probably like 15.
Wow.
Very dark.
Dude.
The next dude died like a year later from cancer.
Jesus.
A couple years later, my other friend Francisco, they said he got beat to death, and they don't know who had happened. He was just found in the. He moved away, and then when he came back, he got.
Ricky, you're off the podcast, bro. I don't want to be by you
I
anymore.
didn't think that was weird. I thought you were like,
So
hey,
it's the
man.
fear of Mexicali.
Going back over there, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna
Fear
die
of
if I go back over there.
Mexico.
Yo,
Only that time. I was like,
I'm sorry.
dude, that was
Just
weird. It was
afraid of Mexico.
I love that we're all trying to be like, it's like a super serious conversation,
I
but
know.
dude,
sometimes
it's real. I'm like, I don't know.
that was more dark than weird to me.
Now I'm fine,
Yeah.
but I was like, dude, for like in my 20s, I didn't want to go back. When I was like, oh, you want to come? I'm like, heck no. Like, I'm not going to that town. Look at what happened to all my friends.
wow,
All right.
that's a
Interesting.
wild one.
Yeah.
Ben, you got another?
I got another one. All right, so I live in a condo, right?
Yep.
And we have these,
In Mexicali?
No,
You got a fear of the HOA.
that's a whole nother topic. All right, so we got these sprinklers heads in our condo that we have to have, and they're everywhere. Like in the closet where we hang our jacket,
yeah.
they're like right there. So like you gotta be careful not to freaking touch it.
Okay.
So like if that thing goes off. If that little piece of glass breaks, like because you bumped it on accident, water's just gonna flood in. And I talked to my HOA. I'm like, "What happens if this happens? Like, who do I call?" And they're like,
Yes.
"Oh, well, you gotta call
That was
the fire department or something like that." So in the meantime, there's gonna be water just like rushing in my condo
I
for
love-
like an hour and destroying probably my
I
collection
love that
and
we
my
went
games.
from Ricky's kids dying to Ricky's actual friends dying to Ben being like sprinklers, dude. What if
I was trying to lighten
what
it
if
up.
they go off?
I was trying to lighten them
Hey,
up.
no, that's fine. We love that. But yeah, we're gonna end it on that one. We're gonna say that all the full audio episodes will be linked in the description. And guys, if you guys haven't got your tickets yet for SoCal Gaming Expo,
Yes.
June 8th
Yes.
and June 9th, of
SoCalRetroGamingExpo.com.
Thank you guys for all the support, and I just want to say, Ben, thank you for being here, man.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.